Well, howdy guys. You know, this is a 2500 8.1 Yukon, and average Joe can imagine it's gonna pull well, but there's just not enough videos out there, so I'm doing this one for you guys. Shoot, let me zoom out a little bit. So just give me an idea what I'm towing here. I'm towing this thing back to the yard, parking it for a couple weeks before we go camping again. So this video is about this beast right here. Here we are. Let me show you what all I've done to it. This is how she looks loaded. She has a weight distribution hitch. I know this video isn't for everyone, and my channel is all about diesels, but an 8.1 gasser, that goes into the territory. That's diesel territory right there. So you got all that shebang, right? So these are the tires I'm rolling. Absolutely love these tires. Once I get inside, I'll tell you what I really bought this vehicle for. Geolanders XATs. These are like, I don't know. I really like what Japan does with their tires. If you're new to this channel, I run a lot of pickup trucks, you know, hot shot. I'm in the hot shot business. So I run a lot of pickups pulling goosenecks, and tires just blow left and right. The tires that seem to hang around the most as far as life tread goes are the Japs. The Japanese really know how to build their tires. But anyways, back to the story of this vehicle, okay? Let me show you. So 203,000 miles, 112 on this gas tank, fuel tank, whatever you want to call it. Oh, I guess it is a gas tank. I have a tendency to call it a gas tank when 99% of the time I drive diesel, so that doesn't sound, it's not very proper, but in this case it is. So this 8.1, oh shoot, let me show you under the hood. So none of y'all could be like, yeah, you're full of it, they never put that in there. I don't know why it's such a surprise. I'm out of Washington, and a lot of people are surprised this thing has an 8.1. I guess they never really got around to it. See, Vortec 8100 series. While we're on here, let me show you. I bought this from a one owner. You can see the valve cover is seeping a little bit. Oh, you can really see it in the video. So real life doesn't look as bad as it looks in the video, but the point is, it's not dripping, it's not smelling. I'll give it a little bit more time, so once it does get worse, if it gets worse, we can address that issue. Meanwhile, only thing I've done is put a new air filter, clean the MAF sensor, and clean the throttle body. I don't like the way this thing's working. It actually has a pending coat on it right now. I bought me a brand new one. So that's as far as that side. Well, actually, I never mentioned the valve or the ignition. So I got new coils, new wires, and new plugs. That's as far as the ignition goes. She runs smooth, as you can tell. Super smooth. I absolutely love this engine. Well, hold on a sec. I forgot this part. This was all oily. The last tank was leaking a little bit, so it was making a mess here. And then the vacuum pump, I can't remember where it was leaking from. So one thing about GM, they're cheap. The parts are so cheap, it almost seems like a joke to me, because any diesel part I touch, everything's in the hundreds and thousands. You know, it's crazy how cheap parts are for these things. But anyways, back to this thing, okay? I've showed you all what it's all about under the hood. Absolutely love this gas engine. I don't know what it is about it. Well, the local gas stations love me too. Can't go too far with this thing as far as fuel economy goes, but it's the torque. It's the fact that it's an 8.1. What more do I need to explain? I always loved my Vortec engines. I feel like GM has the best gasser engines as a brand as far as gas powered engines go. I know it's controversial, a lot of people are going to argue that. For an old school engine, I say Vortec is a very solid family line. So the 5.3 has its territory, the 6.0 and the 8.1. Obviously, for the Yukon, this 8.1 is just an overkill. But for what I need it, and I'm going to emphasize on that a little bit, it's phenomenal. Primarily the purpose of this vehicle is as a camping, overlanding / camp. So when this vehicle isn't hauling a trailer, it's out in the forest, it's out in the woods, it's out of service. So I wanted something reliable, but yet something powerful enough to hook up. Well, once I do hook up, so it could tow it. So I had to keep a fine line, and I just blew that line out of smithereens. So I was hoping that my 5.3 would be enough all along back then. I knew that it's going to be on the weak side, but it's doable. So I bought a 5.3. I love the 5.3s for what they are. They're fairly efficient. If you run them right, set them up right, meaning the ignition system, the MAF sensors. I don't know what's up with GM and their MAF and their O2 sensors. They're always chasing. But anyways, I'll stay focused here for now as an overview of this vehicle, what I'm using it for, and how it's serving me. So, rewind the tape. I knew I needed a 6.0, but I was hoping I could get away with the 5.3. So once I got that 5.3, I realized it just doesn't have enough for an engine, and I could work with that. I could slow down, I could take hills slower, but the biggest thing that really pushed me off to the side is the fact that the brake system wasn't up to par for what I needed it, and the transmission. Everyone was saying it's a good tranny, but don't tow with it. Don't tow anything over 5,000 pounds. And my trailer, you know, as it sits with a little bit of goodies in there, you know, just medium, you know, on the medium scale equipped trailer. There's not like stacks of water in there, but there's plenty of water. There's plenty of drinks. There's, you know, the basic necessities in there, all the camping gear that you'd need. So this thing is coming across at 7,000 pounds. So this truck handles it just fine. It pulls it down the interstate great. It handles it as far as stability goes. When I'm going over humps and bumps and bridges, you guys know how sketchy it could get if you're not set up right. This thing just glides along. The only time this vehicle didn't have enough, and it was not the vehicle's fault, it's just the size of the vehicle, was I was going against really strong headwinds, but the wind was a little to the side, so it was pushing me pretty well. So that wasn't, can't really blame the vehicle or the size of the motor for that one. It just didn't have enough weight, so the stability wasn't all there. Other than that, you know, once the winds died down, I just glide along. I'm gonna take it up on the highway so you guys can see how she does. As you can tell, the vehicle is not struggling to get up to speed. I don't know why I shut off my tow haul mode. Alright, so we're gonna get up on this highway. I like to take it easy on my equipment when I'm towing, and I wish I could show you my throttle position right now. You know, I probably got 20% throttle on it right now. And I'm gonna show you the speedo. It's just gradual accelerating. We're going uphill, probably 3% right now. No real big issue. You know, just 20% throttle. It's a good position to have your throttle in. It's a good reserve. You know, obviously the vehicle feels the weight behind it, so it wraps out the engine a little more with the transmission. So I guess it has its own calculations there. But it's phenomenal. I mean, for what I'm using it, what more can I ask for? Does it tow like my diesel, my 21 Mega Cab, or my 21 Cummins? No, absolutely not. Doesn't have that crazy low end torque. But does it have enough to do what I need it to do? Absolutely. There's a short little pull there. I would say this hill climbs anywhere from 6 to 7%. I'm gonna roll into it, probably give it about 50% throttle, and you can see how it's dying out slowly. Right, we're going uphill. It's slowly dying out. Just the way I operate my equipment, I don't like to push it, but this is a good example. A lot of people won't show you on the internet. They'll just set their cruise, and this vehicle would have absolutely no problem maintaining speed if I would give it more input, meaning throttle input. If I feel like once I go past 50%, start doing the 60% mark, it will downshift, and he'll probably bring it up to 3.5. But I don't like to do that. It has plenty of power to do what I need it to do. You know what? I got to back off the throttle. What? Just a little bit, 5 to 7 miles slow down. I wasn't watching it very well, but that's where it's at. So is it really worth, you know, wrapping out the engine? I guess it wouldn't be wrapping out, but that extra shift, that extra up and down. So, no, it's not. So there we have it, you know. It's just a prime example. This thing has some kind of engine brake. It has some kind of decompression. It's nothing like a diesel engine, but it's there. It's definitely there. When I go down steep grades, I feel like something kicks in about 5 seconds in. Once I let off the throttle and it's coasting, it's slowly excelling, and then something kicks in, like the engine changes timing and this thing starts slowing itself down, which is fairly impressive. I'm really impressed with it. So anyways, all around, very bare minimum, but a basic review for someone that's wanting to buy one of these. This is an 02, as you can tell on the steering wheel, it doesn't have the buttons. I think in 03 or 04 they did the buttons. If I could have it my way, or should I say if I lived in a perfect world, I'd definitely get a Yukon that's an 04 through 06. I think this one has a 4L90 or 4L95, one of those two. As you can tell, the tranny isn't, well, actually I need to talk about the tranny. I put in a big cooler, so now I got to do a thermostat. That's my average temp on the tranny. I've gotten it up to 150. I was climbing a hill with headwinds, and that's as far as I got. I don't really like that. I'd like the tranny to maintain 150 and have the cooler, you know, keep it in check between 150 and 180. Perfect world, but 200 would be my absolute comfortable max. And I feel like this cooler has plenty of capacity to do that. So it's the max cooler. It's commonly known. A lot of people put them on their Yukons to preserve the trannies. So there you have it. I wish I could show you my gain on my trailer. I think it's about 2.6, 2.8. If I had to put it in perspective, I'm nowhere near 50% of applying brakes, meaning 50% capacity of the brakes. Same thing, you know, the brakes are anywhere from 10 to 20%. I love it. I absolutely love having that reserve of brake power. Luckily, this vehicle just had a full brake service, meaning the calipers were inspected, one or two were replaced, new rotors, new brake pads all around when I purchased the vehicle. So when I ended up putting the vacuum pump, or the booster and the master brakes, this thing just is absolutely a beast. I've never came to 50% capacity, or my definition of 50% capacity of these brakes with this trailer. Yes, I installed a trailer brake controller. Yes, the brakes worked really well on that trailer. This isn't legal, and I advise no one to do that. But if you would not, if I were not to have trailer brakes on my camper, I would feel comfortable enough to make the trip. That's not how I would have kept my vehicle, but if I had to tow that trailer right now to somewhere across town, I would have been perfectly fine with not having trailer brakes this one trip. I'm not advising you to do that. I'm just sharing the capacity of this vehicle's braking system. I feel like it's a top notch right now because the brakes were serviced at a dealership. So they put OEM brake pads on there, and that's a big thing, guys. Don't cheap on your brake pads, but also don't go to like O'Reilly's or Napa and buy their top of the line brake pads that are lifetime warranty and all that. That crap don't work. If I were to put brake pads on this vehicle, they would be Fleets from Napa, or I'd go online. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm probably butchering it, but Ikebana, that brand, the Japanese brand. They have really good brake pads as well. My fleet uses Fleet Napa brake pads because of the ability and the grip that those pads have. They have good service life and they have really good grip. So with that in mind, that's why I do what I do. So it gives you an idea where we're at with it, you know. Oh shoot, I'm not maintaining 60, am I? 55. So yeah, I wish I could tell you something crazy or good or bad. Just, it is what it is. This is how it is. You know, we're climbing a hill again. I got a state patrol staring at me. I should probably do a better job. And so it is what it is. You know, we can maintain 55, or that's more like 57, 58. Nevertheless, we can maintain the speed. We're still, I guess we can do that. You can tell we're going uphill. I would put it about 5% uphill right now, 5-6%. Same thing, keeping the gear to haul mode. You know, it's just, it does the job. Would I want to tow with this vehicle every single day, this kind of weight? No, I'd probably stick to my pickup truck. You know, just, I feel a lot more comfortable with an exhaust brake. I feel more comfortable with the diesel. It's just how I am. I'm always overkill. Would one be perfectly okay to haul the 7,000 pound trailer with this vehicle? Absolutely, like I just showed you. But me being me, that's where I stand with it. So as an all-around camper vehicle, all around, you know, throw in the lawn chairs, chainsaw, you know, a few tables, an axe, and go to town, overland for a day, or should you say camp out for a day, perfect vehicle. And then come back, hook up to your little trailer, and go camping. So this is what the vehicle's serving me, and this is all we're doing with it. So here you have it. I think I gave you a all-around review and my usage for this vehicle and how much I like it, or what I like about it. What I hate, I wish it was a little bit more technologically advanced. I wish it showed me my gas mileage as a bare minimum, but it does. I could hook up torque app, and that's how I follow my numbers, you know, short trims, long trims, or fuel trims is what I'm talking about, you know, my throttle position and all that. I'm not an advocate, or I shouldn't say that. I'm not sponsored to advocate for torque, but I really like that app. It's a basic app. It does everything you need it to do. So yeah, guys, fuel mileage reeks. That's one thing I didn't mention. The gas mileage on this thing is just horrendous. Everyone's definition is different, but it is a gas-powered motor. It does not have a turbo supercharger, so it has nothing to aid it besides more fuel and more throttle. Or should I say that, throttle and fuel. So on the way to camp, this last trip we did, I did 5 miles to the gallon on the way there, and I did 9 miles to the gallon on the way back. The winds weren't as strong coming back, but I still had the tailwind. So if you want to average it out to 7 miles to the gallon, would be a healthy number. So on an average day, what do I expect out of this vehicle? 7 to 8 miles to the gallon with the trailer. I've been fighting my mileage, and it's slowly getting better, you know, by me correcting the ignition system, by me you know, figuring a few things out here and there. The last empty gas mileage, I mean, not towing anything, just running around town, I got 9 miles to the gallon. I feel like I could get this vehicle anywhere between 10 and 12 as an average, but I'm not. That's my goal. I'm not there yet. So 10 should be more than realistic. 12, I'm pushing it, but I am planning on perfecting my definition of perfecting this vehicle as far as the ignition system, as far as fuel trims go, and then I'm going to tune it. There's a local well-known tuner that does really well with these 8.1s, so I've been told. So we'll tune it for a little bit more power and fuel economy, so lighter throttle economy, heavier throttle, you know, power. And yeah, alrighty guys, as always, may the Lord bless you, and may you almighty find day. Ciao, bye.